County deputies say a student is now a criminal thanks to a social media post. Gulf Coast News' anchor Peter Bush uncovers the story for parents.
The sheriff's office tells us that North Fort Myers Academy was the school targeted in this TikTok post. Investigators tell Gulf Coast News Stanislav Prokipchyk wrote a threat on TikTok stating that he was going to shoot up a school today. That thankfully did not happen. Today, we asked Sheriff Carmine Marcino about the threat.
We had an 11-year-old suspect comment on TikTok saying that he was going to use a rifle and shoot the school up and furthermore, potentially bomb the school.
The FBI even got involved in the investigation, but the sheriff is making an urgent plea today.
Please, parents, I need the parents to play their role. Guardians, family members, play their role, which means sit their child down and tell them, fake threat, real consequence.
The sheriff says so far 600 kids who go to Lee County schools have made threats. A threat to a school here in Florida is classified as a second-degree felony.
So let me get this straight, because there's one specific part out of the whole thing that I found very important that I know 100% white people are not going to focus on. The fact that the news reporter stated that out of that school district, they've had about 600 students that have made threats directly to the school and the school district. So let's look at these demographics real quick, and I made sure to have that for the duration of the video because there's normally a lot of people that want to, oh, the blacks, Chicago, 6 trillion people just sat up there and then died. What about the blacks and the kids there? Why don't you guys focus in on your community and your families in your own backyard before you talk about anybody else? Why does it have to be fixated on white people? Oh, why are you blacks so racist? Oh, why does everything have to be fixated and focused on race? Well, it's fixated and focused on race because this is a European, this is a white boy who decided to do this at the school district. So I decided to look up Lee County, Florida by race. They said the 5 largest ethnic groups in Lee County, Florida are white, non-Hispanic at about 63.7%, two races including others, Hispanic, 11.5% in black and or African American, non-Hispanic at 7.63%. Right? So we were clearly able to see that, and other Hispanic at 3.72. And then we can go a little bit lower, right? It says that the demographics for Lee County schools depends on which Lee County you are referring to. Lee County School District in Florida has diverse student body with 46.9% Hispanic/Latino and 31.62% white students, while the smaller Lee County in Kentucky has a population that is about 97.1% white. In Florida, Lee County Public Schools racial ethnic breakdown 2023 through 2024 says Hispanic/Latino 46.49% and white 31.62%. Again, black doesn't even matter because it's the smallest, lowest percentage directly up there, and it's insignificant at this moment in time. So like I said before, we're dealing with a problem dealing with white folks. White folks again. Why are you guys not talking about this? And I love how the cop was talking directly to the community. He was like, my golly gosh, the community, we really got to get a hold of this. We can't keep this, going. Please sit down at the dinner tables and talk directly to your students, your kids. Come together as a family. Put down the cell phones. Go out to a park, go out to the movies, go out for a hike, go swim with dolphins, skydiving, rock climbing. We really got to spend more time with the kids and really bring things into the fold, together. We got to really, put Jesus, God first, Christianity, Catholicism. We really got to bring these, things first in our community to stave off the devil, because right. And I had to add that extra directly in there because normally when it deals with these stories, if they can potentially point towards somebody else being the effect, which then later caused what took place, they would do it. Oh, it was the blacks, right? But they can't do it. So now the whole explanation is a lot airy. They don't really know where to go. They don't really know what to say. And again, you're not going to hear the same angst, the same anger, right? You're not going to hear the same energy if it was, let's say, somebody black who did it, right? They would have a variety of things. The police would have a variety of things to say specifically about that. The other thing I want to note too is that where are the parents? Where's the father? Where's the community? Where's the mother? Why is it that nobody is online trying to specifically list off if these parents are good parents, if they're not drugged out somewhere, right? If they're not drug dealers, if they're not in a pimp or prostitute, relationship? Like where is all of, the Batman / Bruce Wayning that normally goes online when it deals with stories like this? Right? Because magically, before you even know what the story is, people already got a photo. People already got the information directly out there. They got the child's report cards out there. They got all the information about the parents. They know where the parents work. All of these, right? There's all of this information that people can normally gather and get when it deals with stories like this, if they're black. Right? People normally got all of these things to say, but for whatever reason, you don't see none of that taking place and happening here. So to the white folks out there, what are y'all going to do? What conversations are you realistically going to have? Or are you going to scapegoat and decide to move the goalposts to what you guys normally see in your own communities? Even while this is happening, you guys are like, but the blacks, those blacks in Chicago, those blacks in Florida, blacks in Detroit, blacks in New York, blacks in Oklahoma, blacks in Atlanta, blacks. Like, so what are y'all going to do? Because again, to have in that school district by itself 600 students that have stated a variety of threats directly to the school and the district itself is mind-boggling. And as I stated before, it's amazing to me that this is not getting reported and talked about, because look at the climate that we're currently in at this moment in time. Look at all of these young white males who are shooters, who decide because of somebody's political opinion on the opposite side, because of somebody's religious belief, or however it is that they want to live their life, they decide that they want to go out there and cause violence in masses. But yet again, you guys do nothing to stave off any of these things. You guys do nothing to curb this type of violence. You do nothing to calm this type of violence. You do nothing to take care of this situation, but throw the responsibility onto other people directly out there, versus starting with self, which is home and your teachings. Again, a lot of these kids are able to have access and to talk the way that they do because the white parents there don't want to manage their kids. They want to give them tablets. They want to give them cell phones. They want to give them computers. They want to give them video game systems. And a lot of these kids don't have, any type of social cues. They're not good socially. They just can't go out there and just talk to people and whatnot or whatever, because they're used to talking to people through a screen or through a microphone online, versus actually having social interactions with another person, actually knowing that that person is real and not just some type of avatar online that they're speaking to. But like I said, it'd be like that though. When you raise your kids directly on Fortnite or Roblox, this is pretty much what you get at this moment in time, because you decide that you don't want to be a parent. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.